Hello, Gundam Victory fans. Are there such things? The reason why is I watched Gundam Victory, all 50 episodes, and I fell asleep in more than half of them. So, yeah, for me, it's such an old TV show. It just wasn't written like a modern TV show, and its animation quality was like an old TV show, so it wasn't for me, really. But it still isn't going to stop me from collecting Converge, so today we have 3 from that particular cartoon series. Victory Gundam 1, Victory 2 Buster version, and second B. So Converge number 23, 117, and 238. Let's go in order of Converge. So here we have, well actually let's just go over this because I got to open it, right? This came out in 2011. Boy, if I divide, it's probably wave 4. They usually come out waves of 6. So those are the other 5 in that particular wave, and I've reviewed a few of these as well. There's some basic stats at the top, and let's see if the gum from 2011. Oh, this might be gross. It's actually a letdown. I've seen much worse. Alright, so it's going to have the bad foot stand, everything's segmented off, and now let's go into fandom here. And so it was shown in Victory Gundam. It is piloted by Uso Irwin. I think he pilots most of these things. And where's the blurb about this thing? So the Victory is a modular design where it has a core fighter and then 2 other parts, the boots and the hangar, and they could also fly around. But all 3 of them can become a robot, and that's the general gist of it. And there are the 3 components, and there's the final robot. So it's kind of a plain looking robot, you know. I guess for the time when that cartoon was put out, it looked pretty cool, but I don't know. What do you guys think? In the realm of Gundams, with so many different Gundams out there, this I feel is at the bottom of the pile, even though it's the star of the show. Alright, so by the way, if you're totally new to the channel and Converge, that's the foot stand that just totally ruins it. It's going to stand anyways. Alright, let's break this apart. Get all the stuck paint loose. Oh yeah, also these really old ones don't have round pegs for the head, right? It's an L shape, so you can't even turn the head left and right. The bottom of the feet have pretty lame details, but they are painted nicely. Yeah, they're painted well. And then, whoa, boy, look at that. That's quite a stain. Oh, thankfully it came off. That's not typical. You usually don't get that. Alright, well, I guess it's a dirty robot to some extent. Good panel details. Look at all the details they put in there. More than probably the real cartoon. They have the sky blue here, nicely painted. The torso is also sky blue. We have the red of the cockpit area. And then the yellow of these intakes looks pretty nice. Some vent details there. And a gunmetal neck. Alright. So let's get the head out of the way. We have some translucent green eyes, but not much molded detail behind them. We have a red chin. We have some green up here. And then the cannons up here are painted gunmetal. That's nice. Unfortunately, they don't tell you the chassis number, but what is nice is you got some green paint back here. A lot of times they skip that. I would say probably the majority of the times they skip that. The antennae are rigid, I think. Yep, they could break, so be careful of that. And there's the chassis code, I think. It's not really legible though, because it's such a long chassis code. Let's see if that gets in there. And actually I didn't bother to read the chassis code, but there it is on the packaging. It's LM312V04. So that's a lot for them to get in there. It's kind of close. V04, I see that. LM3, you know what? If you do know the chassis code, you can make out the lettering. Okay. But yeah, this L-shaped thing is kind of annoying. That's it. You can't rotate the head left or right. So that's too bad. So the left arm, we just have a molded in hand, and that's what the way they are for the first several waves of Converge. This red thing, maybe that emits a shield if I remember from the cartoon. And it does have an L marking for left. At least this is a round peg, so at least you can rotate that up and down. The right side doesn't have a hand because it's usually part of the weapon. Alright. So where is, well, alright, we'll just do this. So yeah, there's the hand molded in, same color as this weird gun. Yeah. Nicely detailed gun, it's just kind of weird looking to me. It's so tall. Alright. Alright, so now we have these thrusters and whatnot. Well, what is this thing? This goes in the middle. And I assume it goes in this way. Yeah, alright. So I'm not sure what that is, really. And then these are definitely thrusters. That has 3R, so I assume, yeah, the L shape goes like this. And this one does say 3L, so that's the left thruster. And goes like that. Alright, so, yeah, unfortunately no additional paint in those thrusters. But these figures were really cheap, you know. Back when this was new, I bet this was like $4 or $5. But look at all the paint, you know. Someone had to paint all that stuff. Better them than me, because it's really time consuming. But the foot stand was a waste of plastic. Clearly stands on its own. So next up is 117, and this thing came out in 2015. It is chassis LM314V23. Okay. The other robots from this wave are these guys. Here's the basic stats. Sorry, I don't know what wave this came from, but you just need to know it's 117. Okay. Yeah, ooh, that gun's got some brown spots. Interesting. And then going to Phantom again, so of course the same cartoon series, same pilot, but this is later in the episodes, for sure, towards the end actually. Let's see, grants Gundam several heavy weapons, large mega beam cannon, spray pod. Oh, look at that, that bag is really close. Micro missiles, multiple attacks, okay. Here's some images, some really high detailed drawings by someone. I mean, I don't even remember the core fighter of this, but again, I fell asleep during more than 50% of watching this. You can see these silly stands. I mean, they don't even stay clear. It's just a horrible decision. After the first 20 waves, they switched over to our normal peg stand. Oh boy, this paint is stuck. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, you heard that pop loose. Wow, that... I don't want to twist it because I think it's going to shear off the peg. So you like to leverage it, to try to leverage the paint off. Yeah, I think that did it. Okay, what's nice is the pegs are really big, although they're even different size for left and right. Okay, yeah, these feet are kind of lame as well, but whatever. Yeah, I'm not going to display it upside down, so it's no big deal. It is a nice matte finish, and in fact this whole body is like a matte white, blue, yellow. I guess the yellow is the glossiest of them. I actually feel like this has less detail than the earlier one, as far as the nooks and crannies go. Some thrusters here, and then, yeah, this cockpit area, white here, some tiny grooves there. There's not much to talk about though with this one. The right arm, it does have a hand that can, yeah, separate, spin. So it's just a fist though, so that's a little disturbing. But maybe the other option is it's on the weapon as the hand. Now this is pretty cool because it's not common that you have a left hand that can hold a weapon in Converge. So this one can spin as well, and go there. So the blue shoulders match into the torso. There's some vent details here, and decent enough details on this arm actually. Red, that's nice. Okay, so the head of this one, again we have some green translucency there for the eyes, some silver behind it, and the antennae were already attached. And no, they're still rigid. Red chin. There's a little red underneath the eyes. Interesting. Pretty plain back. Sorry for losing the focus there. I can't, focus if I'm using my two hands holding the figure. There's also some blue here. So, alright. Okay. We have a central frame of some sort. And it's got 3 pegs, so that should hopefully be, actually technically 4 pegs, 2 and 2 on the side. I'm going to assume that's going to fall out anytime soon. And then you have these L-shaped things on the side. And so this one here is a scattering beam of some sort. I do recall that from an episode that blasts out some particles. And I think these are thrusters back here. And then you got the giant long-range cannon here, and the thruster in the... Whoa, that is really warped. If this sort of thing happens with any sort of vinyl figure, you just dip it in hot water, and then you hold it and dip it in cold water, and then it'll hold its new shape. Or sometimes you just heat it and it'll go back to the straight. But for the video, let's just continue on. Just pretend that's straight. Alright, so that's what's going on with this guy. Yeah, definitely loaded up with some weapons. And then, yeah, it's interesting that they would give this guy a rifle for the left hand instead of the right. I like it because it's not normal. And there is a trigger, but it actually has nothing to... Well, let's see what it ends up looking like. Maybe it's better to take it off first. Yeah, hey, I guess that looks pretty good. It's just unfortunate the hand and the gun are the same color, so it kind of vanishes. I wish they painted the gun something else, or the hand something else. Alright, so yeah, see? Just some variation. Last up today is number 238, and this is now from Pound Wave 20, so that's quite recent. And second V, it's weird, there's no chassis number on this one. Okay, came out in 2020, I think it said that. Here are the other robots from that particular series, and there's no stats on this thing either. Well, that's really interesting. I'll probably chew on that later. I'm 3 years old. It's probably a good idea, but I'm going to do it anyways. So let's see what fandom's saying here. Same pilot, the star of the show, and essentially it seems like they put on some more higher. It's basically a stronger robot, but at the expense of maneuverability. Let's scroll down a little more. There we go. And you can pause. And the images from the same web page. Alright, so this is a more logical stand system with the later releases, just a peg stand. Let's break these arms loose. Alright, let's take a look now. Still gotta say, kind of lame feet there. And then, but the red is nice, it's very matte finish. And again, kind of lame legs, almost not many details molded in. The paint is alright though there, not very good here though, you can clearly see this side's better. The red of the cockpit and the black is pretty nice, and the yellow in those grooves there. The torso is this matte blue, the round pegs all around, so that's nice. The neck here is a gunmetal, this whole back area is gunmetal. Maybe those are thrusters. Alright, where's that arm? So the left arm just has a fist, but you can at least rotate it. And there's some gunmetal here in the forearm, some blue and some red. Maybe these are thrusters, I imagine. At least they're recessed. You could add paint there easily. Alright, so that was pretty good. So to the right, now we have a slot for a weapon, and otherwise it's a mirror image. Ooh, that was a tight fit. Here's the antennae. I'm going to slide that into the head slot here. Come on. Gotta like wiggle it in sometimes. Spread the hole open. Alright, well you got some green metallic up there. Some cannon details and intake details. Red, black, red, and the eyes are translucent green. A little bit of molded detail behind them as well, so that's nice considering how short the eyes are. This is very plain looking back here though. And yeah, no color back there. Round peg, which is nice. And let's see if we can get a side-to-side head movement here. Well, it collides, you know, with these blue things. But if you raise the head up, I guess you can turn it, and it still looks kind of okay. Anyways, I'm going to just pop it down to there. So it's a few degrees off, and that's fine. Alright, so now we have a wacky frame again. Let's see. Well, you know, we have side pegs. I don't know which I should put in first. I also have to make sense of this all. I see, so this weapon I think goes over here. Yeah. So this long rifle or whatever, it's got blue side panels. It's got a recess in the front, so that's nice. You can add some paint in there. So that's that. I'm gonna guess this is for the other side. And I don't know which peg it goes in. Probably the longer one? There's no sound though. Well, maybe still. And then this has a round peg on it. So what, does this go here? I don't know, that doesn't seem right. We will have to refer back to the instructions soon. Well, let's figure this out. I'm pretty sure these wings go here, these thruster wings. There we go. It's just the hole's a little tight. This one says R, so I assume this is, I'm looking at the R, with the R, the right arm, right? So I assume this is the way it has to go in. Alright, so it's nice that those are round because you can pivot the things up and down. Although they do collide with the head, so... Alright, so that does mean we only have these parts over here. I see. This one has this peg, which I assume might go in here. Or not. Is there anything on this? No. Oh, I see. So this peg is probably for this. Yeah, so this double thing. So now that makes me think this has to go in this way. Or possibly this way. No, this way. Alright, well, it's weird how it's spaced like that, but let me try it the other way. Oh, maybe those things are supposed to go into the side of this. Yeah, I think it is supposed to go in this way. So this bottomed out and it's kind of, these pegs are supposed to be flanking that. You know, maybe I should just put one side first. Well, that thing's pretty stuck together though. Nope, that's not coming apart. See these little notches right here? That's where these things are supposed to go. Well, I guess that's as good as it's going to get because it seems to be bottomed out there. Both. Yeah, maybe not. There we go. Okay. And boy, like that. I kind of feel it might go this way. So now this has to go into that there. Alright. So it's a shame is, you know, there's no way that these could rotate upwards. They're just always going to be in that static position. Like this thing, I don't even know what it is, but this cannon, you know, it would have been nice if somehow it had a side peg and it could rotate downwards. But no can do. Alright, this rifle now is like a gunmetal color, and it's got decent enough details. You know, looks alright. Unfortunately, the barrel's not recessed. Okay. So that is this one. Let me get all these guys spinning. Alright. The only other victory I have is Victory 2, and it's just the plain version. This is number 24 in the Converge series, so it's pretty early. So, yeah, oddly, it's the very first one, the very earlier ones in the series that seem to have a lot of the molded details, all the nooks and crannies and stuff like that. But this very last one, you can see all the panels are very plain looking, because I think they try to make it look more like the cartoon or something like that. But for me, I kind of feel like I like all the details. Yeah, anyways. So, yeah, that's it for the Victory collection. I guess this one doesn't matter for this video, but that's what we have here for these guys. I will be reviewing other robots from this cartoon series. They're just usually the enemies, the antagonists, so those will come later on. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see ya.